actually a pilot, and he is in Nice right now, sleep deprived.
That's a funny kind of thing because if you would have asked me last year if I would doing some design with some beau coquette, I would have said, "What's wrong with you?" You know? But I discovered art therapy. I was not good at designing, but it was great for me. I wanted to do something like right now, and I found Etsy.
And you were like, oh no, it's not working. Oh no. We all go through that in the beginning of our journeys. Like those moments of down, we feel like you felt like those 4 days had last like were an eternity.
Still, that's part of the game, and we need to go through that. You need to fail in order to succeed. It can be really lonely when you start designing and with an Etsy shop. It's really important to be part of the community. I spent the first 4 months alone doing my things, and no one like next to me was understanding what I was doing. But with the community, it's not just a community to learn. It's a community to exchange the emotional level. If I would have started again tomorrow, I would have like take that membership like soon enough. Sooner.
Hey Alex, thank you for being here. Thanks for coming on and doing an interview with us. You're our first guy to do an interview on the channel.
Well, thanks for that.
So Alex is actually a pilot, and he is in Nice right now, sleep deprived. Hopefully our sound won't get too funny because I know there's going to be some background noise, but hopefully you'll stick with us and listen because I think he's got a lot of really fun things to share. So Alex, we know that you were getting to a point where you were making, I was looking through our messages, and you were making 15 to 30 sales a day with just a little over 500 listings. I think in that message you had sent me, I have 511 listings and I'm making 15 to 30 sales a day. So that's super exciting. You want to tell us a little bit about your journey, like what brought you to Etsy?
Well, that's a funny kind of thing because if you would have asked me last year if I would doing some design with some beau coquette, I would have said, "What's wrong with you?" But I struggled a lot probably the last 2 years. I discovered art therapy, and I was not good at designing, but it was great for me, art therapy. And I started to do some things on Canva, on Kittl, and things like that. And I was thinking, wow, I love that. So where can I find an interest in that? So I applied to Amazon Merch, but it took a long time to get accepted. But I wanted to do something like right now, and I found Etsy and went to YouTube. I found your videos, Cassie videos, Andrea videos. There's a lot that does print on demand, and I just opened up my shop and started like designing things. So mainly, yes, with the pilot shirts and things like that, flight attendants. I started with that, with things that I knew. It was funny because I had my first sale in 7 days. That was amazing, but mainly because I know that niche. I'm part of that, and it's. I was looking at teacher, nurse, and all those niche, but like pilots and flight attendants, we are like a little bit like crazy monsters. We don't like having like pilot or flight attendants on the shirts. When I see that on those issues, I'm like, God, there's no one that's gonna wear that. So, but yeah, you have to know your niche. So that's why probably I got into those niche and had probably a little bit of success at first month, but after that it was like zip. There was like flies in my shop, and it wasn't like a sell. So yeah.
I think that's really interesting to get into niches that you know about. First of all, you enjoy designing them. You have insights that people don't have. And like you said, you heard, oh, well, teacher's this really big niche. Maybe I should be doing teacher. But you know about being a pilot and you enjoy that. And so that was a really good entryway. And it's a smaller niche. And you had insight into this smaller niche. So that's really something to take away from what you just mentioned. And then we were just chatting about you can always use that as a stepping stone at some point and get into other niches that maybe you don't have a connection to or insight into, but they're big niches.
Look, for me, my strategy for my first year on Etsy, my shop has been open for 6 months now. I'm not able to put in work full time in my shop, so I needed strategy. So I needed to find some niches, some things that I can sell right now. Because I know it's hard to build momentum in a shop, and I'm pretty aware of that. So that's why I joined the channel, like the community for that, because I was doing absolutely everything that I could, but I was not designing good things. I was designing things for myself, and I thought that would work, but it didn't work. But mainly, if we fast forward 4 months, okay, did probably 300 listings, and I joined the community with all the activity in the classroom. I was making batch, but I'm not able to do like 15 batch per listing, things like that. It's too much for me. So what I do is I focus on research. And if I get into a niche, I'm gonna take probably the 5 or 6 best seller in that niche, and I'm gonna try to combine all the styles for the best sellers, and I put my design next to those designs, and I make sure that my design stand out in that niche. So at first I wasn't doing that, but now that's what I'm doing, and I know right now for having a bestseller, 2 bestseller, 3 bestseller, that when I design something, it's gonna sell. I found it really hard at the beginning. Everyone was telling, "Oh, you have to design things that people want. Double down on things that works." Well, it's hard when nothing is working in your shop. But once some once the design starts to pick up, it's you get some experience, and you know that you're gonna succeed probably with that design. Yeah.
It's just a period of time where we kind of have to like muscle through when we're like
Mm-hmm.
we just don't know. We just don't know yet because we haven't done enough
Yeah.
to start
Yeah.
getting that experience. And so, because the sound is a little bit, I know there's some background noise. I want to make sure everyone understood what you just said. I think it's some interesting things. I get to work with Alex because he's part of the Learn and Earn community. He joined us over there, and I'm super proud of you, Alex. Like, there's been numerous
Thanks.
times where Alex has messaged me, and I'm like, yeah, like it's like a proud teacher moment where it's like, I put this activity together, or I put this, these guided activities together, and always the focus of the guided activity is like, hey guys, this is the research. And I'll usually give some ideas on how you could branch out from the research and how you could add value, pull it into another niche, usually, right? So often it's hard to do that. That's a skill that you have to like build upon. You
Yeah,
keep hitting
definitely.
it out of the ballpark. You had a mind that just like kind of like grabbed it. You understood, okay, I'm not supposed to redo the same phrase that she just told us. I'm
Yeah.
supposed to change it. I'm
Yes.
supposed to keep
Yes.
like I'm supposed to keep the integrity of the phrase, but pull
Yes.
it over into my niches, which is exactly what you've done. And you've had
Yeah.
some really great success with that. I know that I was just looking back at our messages. You had just pulled one of the activities we did into another niche, a big niche, and you had changed the phrase to combine it with another phrase that, or sentiment, I should say, that sold well in that niche. And it was brilliant. Like if I could do A plus 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 plus, like 100 pluses after that A, like that's your grade. Like you did so good on that, and then you had a ton of sales on it. And I think you
Yeah.
even turned it into a group listing, didn't you?
Yeah. I messaged you and you said, look, why don't you make it a group listing for that? So yeah, I made a group listing, and I doubled down on PNGs files because I had a lot of demand of people. Are you willing to sell that PNGs? And I was like, at the beginning, I was no, it's mine, blah blah blah. But look, when you start looking, people are gonna make your design with a PNG. So a PNG for me, I sold. It's still selling. I cannot believe it, but I had probably about I'm at 225 sales in less than 30 days with a PNG that I sell $7. Just imagine, that's
So
what
you're
I'm
still
getting.
making the same profit you'd make on a shirt with that PNG.
That, that's
Really?
that for me is really passive income. Like PNGs, and probably I don't know. I mean, probably I'm young on Etsy, but there's a lot of buyers, but there's a lot of buyers that are sellers,
Uh-huh.
and that's a big market also. Okay?
And do it yourselfers.
And
There's a lot of
yeah,
do it yourselfers. Yeah.
yeah, and also in order to scale, what I realized when I had my bestseller on a T-shirt, on a single T-shirt, I realized, okay, that's the bestseller, but it's selling every day. It's selling from sometimes 4 or 5 times a day. But what can I do to in order to scale more than that? I need to get into group shirts. Okay, so when we were all doing the teacher challenge, I started the teacher challenge, and I was like, yeah, I'm young. It's a big niche, but I started to double down on the group shirts. And I remember we were in June, and I was in the calendar, the general calendar, and I saw that niche, Oktoberfest. What a great niche! And right now, my design is on the first page, and it's selling. It's selling. So I'm selling. I don't know, 8 shirts, 12 shirts. That's really profitable. So yeah. So group shirts
Just in case
that's
the subscribe, just in case our viewer
yeah.
didn't hear what he said he's looking at the general niche calendar, a resource that I put out. I'll link it down in the description. And I bought a general calendar as I was going through my journey in the beginning too. That was one of the resources that I found was the most
Yeah.
helpful. Well, Oktoberfest is on that, which is what Alex just mentioned, and it's a great little niche. Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a great little niche. I got some sales early on in my journey with that niche too.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then you targeted the group sales with
Yep.
that. So
Yeah.
you took like a fun angle on that. Couples is another good
Yeah.
one for
Couples,
Oktoberfest.
well, that's the same thing with couples. I took the same idea, and with Halloween. So two of my design is on the first page. Incognito mode, it's on the first page, and it's selling. So every time you do, you see your orders. But when there's an orders, that doesn't mean one sales in those niche. With couples or groups, you have one order, but you have like 5 sales. So it's crazy.
It is really fun to get into group stuff, and then your shop does
Yeah.
scale faster because you're selling to fewer customers. It's easier to stand
Yes.
out because people are afraid to do it. So there's not as many sellers targeting the group sales, right? And so
That's right.
yeah. And I think
Yeah.
that what you highlighted too about PNGs is really valuable. So I'm just going to recap that. And I think this is something very, very normal. And I know I struggled with it. And I get questioned about this all the time, whether it be in YouTube comments or whether it be in, over in the membership, asking like my design should I offer it in PNG, but I don't think I should do that because people are going to steal it. People are going to steal it anyways. If someone wants
Yeah.
to steal your design,
Yeah.
they're going to steal it. I've had my designs ripped right off of my shirts, and I've had other sellers sell my designs as PNGs, giving sellers the right to use them on their print-on-demand product.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy.
yeah, it's like I might as well sell it as a PNG in my own shop instead of
Yeah,
letting someone else,
that's
make
right.
that
That's right.
profit off it. Is your,
That's
your
right.
gold ticket, your winning idea, your winning design. So I think that's
Yes.
really good. When I was
Yes.
looking
And
back at our messages,
yeah.
you messaged me something that I thought was really interesting. I feel like so many people will resonate with this because this is how we all feel in the beginning. It's, when we do these interviews and when we're chatting about success, it's like we're on the high and we're excited about, oh my gosh, yeah, like once it starts, it just must be a ride up, right? You messaged me back in early June. You said, Shauna, oh my gosh, I don't know. You're like, you started to get some traction. And then you were like feeling deflated because you lined it out for me. Like June 3rd, I had 0 sales. June 4th, this is just 2 months ago. 4th, I had 5 sales. June 5th, I had 3 sales. June 6th, 2 sales. June 7th, 1 sale. June 8th through the 12th, you had 0 sales.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh no, it's not working. Oh no. We all go through that in the beginning of our journeys. And then look where you're at now. And look where you went later in June, even, and in July. Like those moments of down, we feel like you felt like those 4 days had like were an eternity.
But still, that's part of the game, and we need to go through that again. We need to go through that. And even today, my lowest day was yesterday. I did 3 sales, but today I'm already at 12 sales.
Nice.
It's like a roller coaster. It's like a roller coaster, and we need to give time to Etsy to know what you are doing, and that's part of the game. But with all the interviews that you did with Joy, Brittany, Monica, look, we all went through that. We all went through that, and so it's part of the game. And I have success right now, but at the beginning, I was doing, I'm sorry, like big poo poo in my shop because like the design were not good, things like that. But you need to you need to fail in order to succeed, you know, and better your design. And you know, You put a design, you learn how to put a shadow under the fonts and things like that. It's all those little things that's gonna sell, you know. So
And
yeah,
I don't know if you've heard the sentiment failing forward. Like every time you fail forward. Like you learn something from that, and
yeah,
the next time you fail, it won't be for the same reason. It'll be for another reason. You start collecting all of this information about how to make it better and better, right? And so it took me longer. I was at 700 sales, 700 listings. I only had 70 sales. I was
okay,
definitely not getting 15 to 30 sales a day. I did not know to get into group sales like you did
yeah,
as early on in your journey. And I also didn't know how to mix trending things like you have. Like you've done a really good job in doing that. I also didn't invest in myself early on, and I didn't get I didn't join any groups where I was learning from other people or from, I think that's so important that you did that for yourself. But I think you're learning at such a fast rate and you're implementing in such a good way that I'm really excited to see where you're able to take your shop during Q4.
yeah. Well, yes, we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. But yeah, so for Q4, probably I made my objective is to make like 15% of my design Christmas or Thanksgiving, but the other 85% is going to be evergreen. I want them to sell, not only like with the Christmas things. And I already did a sale with the last activity.
So Alex is talking about the last guided activity I put into the membership, and I do one just about every month. Was a really funny ornament idea. A friend is like a bra, supportive, whatever the phrases are. And of course, the whole point here is to not use the word, not use bra, use something else to niche it over into other things, or to take out the word friend and target a different niche with this idea. And so it's awesome that you already got 2 sales
Yeah.
from
Yeah,
doing
so
that activity, but you're really good at those activities. I feel
no,
like,
yeah, and I have fun with this. I have
yeah.
fun with this also.
It takes some of the
Yeah,
thinking out. It's like, okay, I do them
yeah,
myself. Once I put them together, I'm like, ooh, this is fun. I'm going to sit here and do, it's like, it's like a little formula. Like this little formula is working here. Where can I
yeah.
plug this formula? Where else can I plug this formula in for
But
success?
I think it's really important that because it can be really lonely when you start designing and with an Etsy shop. It's really important to be part of the community. Spend the first 4 months alone doing my things, and no one like next to me was understanding what I was doing. But with the community, it's not just a community to learn. It's a community to exchange on the emotional level. If I would have started again tomorrow, I would have like take that membership like soon enough. Soon enough. I'm saying that, but I really learned the first month that I was alone, like designing, failing. I learned a lot.
Yeah. Everyone thinks, oh man, but Etsy's saturated. If it were that easy and people were making money, then everyone would be doing it. And that's exactly true. Like it's not easy. It actually
No.
isn't, it's never going to be overly saturated because there's infinite numbers of ways to stand out in the market, as you have well learned.
Mm-hmm.
And most people are not willing to put the kind of effort in that you've put in. Like
Oh, that's right. That's right.
they're just not. And so I think people coming into this, like, this is repeatable. Like anyone could do
Yeah,
this for themselves. They
that's
just
right.
have to
That's right.
break. And I think that you bring so much hope in the fact that you were able to start scaling with just 500 listings. I know 500 is no small feat. That's not an easy amount of work, but it takes a lot of people longer than that. I mean, closer to 1,000, 1,200 listings to start scaling. And
Yeah.
so I think that that's like, but that brings incredible hope.
That's all you guys say, like all the mentors out there. Take something that is working and do the same thing that you were doing but differently. So that's the only thing that I did. That's the only thing that I did. But like I said, you need to have like a bestseller or something like that. That something is selling because before that I was not like, well, there's nothing that sells in my shop. So what do I do? Yeah, we're talking about the doubling down. So that's what I did. That's the only thing that I did. Yeah.
You've been very good
So
at doubling down, but it's not the
yeah.
only thing you've done. You've really built that muscle of understanding how to be creative and pulling one idea from one niche over into another niche. I
Yes,
think that
that's right.
you're just like your
That's right.
magic superpower. You
Yeah.
learn that
So
at a faster clip than I think the average person learns it.
there's a little bit of luck also with that.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking about that this morning. I'm glad you just said that. I think there's a little bit of luck, but we also make our own luck. The luck only comes into play for how quickly we're able to make it happen, not if or whether or not we're able to make it happen, I think.
Yeah,
So, the more good decisions you make repeatedly and quickly, the faster your luck is going to change. Kind of, you're making your own luck.
that's right.
But
That's right.
yes, it can happen at 500 listings for somebody and 1,000 for someone else because of just some other outside pieces and some little minute decisions that you made that same amount of effort being put in and whatnot. But the success is there. It's like it's gonna happen if you stick with it long enough and you keep just making that luck for
That's right.
yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, so in the same way, I have success right now, but I did the work, I was 4 months not doing anything beside my main work. I was just working on my Etsy shop, until midnight, sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning, and woke up the next day and working on my shop. So, it's not, it's not easy. It's not easy. Yeah,
You were dedicated. You were dedicated and you're
yes,
like not taking no for an answer. And I really think that it takes
that's right. That's right.
someone filled with hope and someone who is like not taking no for an answer because it's going to inevitably be more work than whatever you thought
Yeah.
it was.
Oh yeah, that's right. And when you do customizable, also it doesn't finish there. It's when you sell something, you have to customize it, you know, and that's another one. And you have to treat your Etsy shop like a business. When a client asks you, "Oh, can you do that things?" Yeah, sure, no problem. But after the second try, and if he asks you to do like something else. I mean, like I don't waste time. So buy the shirt or buy the thing, and I'm gonna work for you until I die. But it's yeah, because yeah,
I'm glad you just mentioned that also. I think that's something we've never discussed on the channel before, but that is very typical. Like I still run into it. And I have girls that run the shop for me now, and they'll be like, Shauna, can you please look at this? Do you want us to keep going down this rabbit hole? And I'll go look, and this person's going back and forth, with Vanessa or Tracy. And it's like, okay, dude, you've asked us for like 8 edits. You're done. You're done. We weren't redesigning the thing for you. Buy it
no,
or move on. Right.
because at the end of the day, you have to think about okay, how many how do I make by hour on that things, and with 500 listings, I probably have 15 listings that sell.
Yeah.
You know, that are not bestseller, but that is selling. But I have to count my hours. Do I waste time doing that with the profit that I make? I have to think about that also.
Yep.
And I think
100%.
everyone should think about that.
Yep. It's funny. I had one come through yesterday. A handful of those lately. She came through and she wanted me to change the shirt. It's a teacher shirt. And it's a funny joke about the students talking. And she's like, well, can you do it? Can you do it this other way for nonverbal students? Like, she wanted me to change the phrase. It was very specific. So I went ahead and did it, sent it to
Yeah,
her. And she's like, okay, thank you. I'm not buying anytime soon, but I just think you should have options for nonverbal students. And I thought,
yeah,
well, the
mm,
phrase doesn't really work in the way that you wanted me to do it. You just were making a statement that you wanted me to service another kind of customer. Like, I listed it in my shop. Maybe someone else will want it, but it's not
yeah,
really funny the way it's worded, the way she wanted me to word it. So,
yeah,
well, there that goes. Just it happens.
yeah.
So I know you're sleep deprived. I'm gonna let you go. Did you have anything else that you wanted to share?
Allow yourself to fail, okay? And don't stop because you failed or something, or you think your listings are bad or things. Because my listing that are selling right now, I wouldn't buy that shirt or that design for myself. Okay, so just focus on things that people are buying. It's like a library of people what they like to buy. So, yeah, just allow yourself to fail.
That's probably the best advice anyone will hear all day long because
Yeah,
that is exactly what will get you over the hump. Doing
yeah,
the thing over and over again when it's
yeah,
boring, when it's not interesting at all. You're failing over and over again. Like you said, you've got over 500 listings and 485 of them are failures.
And probably with that though, you allow yourself to fail. But there's a pretty smart man, Albert Einstein, who gave the definition of insanity. You know, and it's the definition of insanity is if you keep doing everything the same, things over and over again the same way, and expecting different results. That's the definition of insanity. So
I
you
love
need to
that.
fail, but you need to learn from your failure.
And you need to keep trying something different. You don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect different results, because then you
That's
wind up
right.
with a shop with 3,000 listings that aren't making any sales.
That's right. I know the term better in French, but you just told it.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's great
Yeah.
advice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alex. So,
Thank you, Shauna. If you enjoyed that video, you're gonna catch up Ariel's interview next. Here's the tip from Tucker. Tucker, take it away.